Uh,
Hello.
Hello, welcome to the stream.
Thank you.
All right. So, is there anything else that I should know about the game before getting started?
Um, Not that I know of, just of course, we mentioned on the page,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the PC version is better.
Yep, I've gone ahead and downloaded it.
'Cause I
So,
think that,
go ahead.
uh, sorry, I think that's like an issue with Godot, possibly.
Yeah, that happens all the time. I've run into issues where, like, in general, the PC build is more reliable than the web version. For example, in my game, when things get shot and they have a brief period of invincibility, they are supposed to flash red because, stuff flashes red when it's shot. But when I tell it flash red, they flash blue instead. I literally put in the hex color code for red and it comes out blue because that's how GameMaker HTML5 just. I cannot convince it otherwise. Hello, JPados, welcome to the stream.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know why GameMaker behaves that way, but I just say, okay, it's the tank's shielding color, whatever. Anyway, so I'll go ahead and get the Windows build version of the game open here, and we can start in with the questions. Chat, don't forget, you can ask your own questions, and I will relay them to the guest here. And oh, DeGrand is asking about or mentioning issues in the audio player in Godot. JPados, you can use the exclamation mark submit command, but just keep in mind that this is the last game that I'm playing on stream today, and there's a very, very long queue. But I will tell you right now that if you are in chat tomorrow when I resume streaming and you participate, then you might be eligible to get picked randomly between the scheduled games. So here we go. Blobb quest. Whoop! Let's turn that down. All right. And I'll kill the stream background music. Okay, so how did you decide on what you're going to make for the jam?
We quickly basically got on a call like 10 minutes before the theme was announced, and as soon as the theme was announced, we started brainstorming.
Mm-hmm.
And quickly, I thought of the idea of like fusion, like in Steven Universe, for example.
Okay.
And uh, we went more with the idea of combining colors. Um, so when you go through a portal, you will turn a certain color, and in later levels, you'll be able to combine colors to become a new color. And that was kind of the basic idea we started with, is getting new abilities by combining into something.
Nice. Oh, okay. So the ending is going past the door here. You're going to be seeing it on a little bit of a stream delay, but here we go. Okay, I think I've got the idea, and this is a slope that I will slide down. All right. What was your development process for this game?
So, for the most part, we communicated over Discord, and we had a like Google document to make sure everyone kept on track. And then for a lot of the process, we went our separate ways, and then joined back together when we needed input or needed to share like files.
Right. And so this was made in Godot, and what was your role on the project? You were the artist.
So, yes, I was the artist. I do actually have Godot on my system, and I know a little bit of how to program in it. So a lot of times while I was making art, I would actually put it in Engine just to test, like, if the FPS is good for the animation, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, if the animation looks good at all.
Yeah, sounds good. It's always good when everyone on the team knows just a little bit about the other's disciplines. Um, it's I remember working together with an artist who wasn't familiar with the concept of how to create a tile set for a game, and it was really difficult to describe to them how I was supposed to, like, how they had to break up the artwork such that it could be loaded into the game in this kind of quantized form.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was expecting to have to jump clear over this, but there we go. Speed boost. All right. So, when you were creating the art, do you want to talk a little about your process for that?
So, one of the things you actually mentioned earlier, or ironically came up because we decided to do the color mixing thing. I immediately thought of how the accessibility issue of color blindness. So, every single blob is designed to actually have a shape, and when they fuse, their shapes combine. So you kind of, even if you can't see colors properly, you can still understand the fusion mechanic by just looking at the blob shape.
Yeah, I can totally see that, because you've got the even the little sort of color portals very clearly influence the you've got the regular white blob shape, then you've got the yellow sort of speedy blob, you've got the square high jump blob, and then when the speed and the square combine, they make a nice octagon, and then yeah, you're like reinforcing the design. Okay, and this one can stick to walls because it's spiky. And this is also a great example of just how I think it really lends to the character. Like they're not just changing colors; they're actually changing sprites, and I think it just naturally looks better this way than if it had. Yeah, come on, up the hill, up the hill. Maybe I can't go up the hill. There we go. But yeah, so I'm glad that you were able to take that into consideration. And I know that like accessibility features. There's no question that you should have them in your game's release. It's just a question of you don't always have time in the scope of a 48-hour jam.
Yeah, of course.
So, can you recommend a useful shortcut or a clever hack that you use when you're creating the art?
I know Krita is pretty good for creating animations because it's good to have a program that allows you to see like the previous frame and the frame ahead so that you can kind of tell what's going on. And an interesting thing I did throughout this jam is if you have similar sprites, you can kind of trace over them. Like multiple of the sprites have the same roll animation, so I traced over that multiple times. So I could create kind of a consistent animation.
Nice, yeah. So it is like an onion skinning built into it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I definitely think that is super useful. I know that whenever I'm animating in a program that doesn't have that support, like GameMaker, I'm usually just flicking back and forth between the images really quickly to see what's changing from one frame to the next.
Yeah.
Sam is asking if Krita does animations now. Used to use it, but it didn't at the time. Is that a feature? Okay, so it's been added in. I see other people in the comments are chiming in. Neat.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of the program Krita before. Okay, so
yeah, it's one of those like free like program.
Neat. All right. Well, I'm always happy to learn about new tools. Okay, yes, Sam, I know that Game Studio 2 has onion skinning. But, you know, I still like the image editor in original OG Game Maker Studio. Anyway, there's some fun conversation going on in the chat here, but I will move on to our next question. Do you have any plans for this game going forward?
So my team does. First of all, from what I've heard, the programmers, Holy Acorn and Pluto, they want to kind of course, polish it up and add more levels. And interestingly, Pluto suggested in our Discord chat Cool Math Games. I don't know if you've heard of that, but
I
he
have.
since it's a puzzle game technically, he was suggesting that we get it to a state where we can publish it to Cool Math Games, and I think that's a really cool idea.
Nice. Yeah, I guess I didn't think about the fact that they would like because it's sort of like educational games. Is that the idea, or is it just like anything that is puzzle
I think so,
related?
yeah.
Okay, cool. Um, all right. Well, that sounds great. Do you have any plans to like add any other more blob types to the game?
I'm not sure. I'll definitely see what my team wants and be available because I do want to see the future of this game.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. Well, if anyone has any questions in the chat, now is the time to ask them. Otherwise, I'll just ask: do you have any shoutouts to other people or projects that you'd like to promote?
So for sure, I have two. So for one, my team, DC Harmony, our sound designer and composer, Pluto and Holy Acorn, our programmers. They helped a ton in making this like at all exist. So it was great to work with them, and I really appreciate what they did for this game. And also, there's a jam that happens every 2 weeks called Mini Jam that I will be participating in, and I highly recommend it.
Nice. All right. Well, if you do end up making something in that jam that you'd like to send my way to be played on stream, I'd be more than happy to have another conversation just like this.
Yeah, that would be lovely. Especially since I kind of want to get into programming myself more because I do have a little bit of programming background, but not much, and I want to expand that.
Nice. That sounds great. Evil Eye Interactive, thank you for mentioning. Yeah, I agree. Great job on the animations. I think they've got a lot of personality to them. But other than that, if there's no more questions from chat, then I think we'll sort of wrap things up here. So thank you so much for joining me on the call, and have a good evening.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you.
Absolutely. Talk to you later.